It's Friday, 10 p.m., October 21st. Lewis. How you doing, big guy? Boys are back in town. Hi to Aiden. A-I-D-A-N, Aiden. Sammy, I see you. Let's see. Is this thing working? Yes, it is. Okay, let's make that smaller and bigger. I get to see your picture. There we go. All right, let's start the show. Let's turn off the red banner. The red banner of entrance. How you doing? No, you don't. There we go. We're saying hi to Lewis. Hi, Lewis. How are you doing? Oh, the camera changed and it dropped. So Lewis is saying hi, everybody. Scotty is saying, I've got the crackers. Is it Cracker Jacks? And of course, big old Sammy. Sammy, congratulations on hitting 1,000. That's awesome of you. What an amazing accomplishment. Sammy's superstar. What did he do? He hit the 1,000. Okay, so I looked at last week's video, I think Saturday or Sunday, whenever it did its processing, and it looked terrible, the Z6. So I reset it, and I brought it back, and this is what we've got. And let's see, let's go back to that Z6. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so it is October. Can you believe October's almost gone? What the hey? It is incredible. It was just February. Or was it March? Anyway, time is going, flying. Kids are growing up. How big is Aiden now? I can't even imagine how big Aiden is. Scotty said he brought crackers to go with the soup. Hey, Scott, how did you know what I had for dinner? Anybody lose any weight this week? Anybody even trying? Is it just me? A solid 158 for me. Just mark that down, whoever's doing the marking. So Randy's still out of town. He is setting up his mother as she's getting older and tripping over things, so they're kind of like thinning out the house and getting things easier for her to do. So he's in, where is he? He's in Arizona. Mr. Camera Junkie Lewis just came back from Massachusetts. Gregg is here. He's in the house with me. Hi, Gregg. Thank you for being in the house with me. Good evening. Let's see if I can straighten this out. That's better, I think. So I've been praying for you, Gregg. Yes, you and the boys, and you and yours. And I think I made the quote a little bit bigger. I would like it to be even bigger, honestly. Yeah. I mean, why should we have to strain to read these things? Is there any reason? There is no reason. So where did Craig go? Craig, there you go. And plus you can see the avatar a little bit better. And so, are we ready to start? So who's in here now? Let's see what we got. Oh, we have hardly anybody. Anything going on in the camera world? Why, yes, there is. There's a whole lot of stuff going on in the camera world. And everybody's, you know, you can watch Simon. Simon will let you know. Put your hands in the air. Simple Simon says. Okay, so we have, we got, what do we got? Oh, we got that surprise from Sony. What the heck is up with that? That's a little bit of a surprise. It's like the ZV-1, but much wider. Instead of a 24 millimeter, even though it's a 1-inch sensor, it's now 20 millimeters, and we lost the 1.8, and now we are at 2.0. So we just lost a little bit there, but $498? I mean, is it hard to tell anybody that that's a good entry camera? I see Shane from Australia. So what time is it in Australia? Okay, do your math, Peter. Okay, so it's 12 plus, so it's 10 o'clock in Australia plus 2. So it's noon in Australia, 12:05. Yay! Did I win anything for that? That's my ultimate math test. So have you getting any traction with that where you put all those YouTubers in, Shane? And I was one of them. I was not. So he's got, I think, like 10 YouTubers, and they all kind of said, this is the camera we're using. That camera or that camera. Hey, how you doing? I found a mirror. So I'm number 4 in that list, and it's on. It's not on In the Blues. See where's Shane? Okay, so that's his guitar channel. That's his big channel, the Big Mama. Okay, a really big channel. I think the only one that's actually bigger than Shane is Justin Brown. I think he's got 1 million. I'm not sure, but I think he does. So we got some big weights here and little weights, and I'm the little weight. I've lost more weight, so I'm the little weight. Look at this shirt. Okay, so let's see. Spot on, almost. The time just changed recently to 1 p.m. here. Oh, so I'm going to have to keep that in mind. So when I wake you up at 3 in the morning, it'll actually be 4 in the morning. So that's better. Thanks for helping with that video. It didn't take off, but it was a lot of fun to have everybody on board. That was good. You really put a lot of work into that. You know what it takes to take that many people, juggle them, deal with them. I'm sure you must have had a lot of questions. I did mine over. So let me put this up a little bit. No, let me put Shane back in here. Come back to us, Shane. There we go. Okay. So that was a heck of a lot of work that he did. Good job. Good job. Really good job. So I'm making it bigger because I like to watch Tom Buck. He's a friend of mine. I consider him a friend. And he puts up the little comments, and they're so small. Honest Engine, I can't read them. I actually have to lean forward or get my iPad and get my glasses so I can read them. So I'm thinking, I wonder if I'm doing that to people also. I mean, I didn't say anything. I mean, you're not going to be rude. It would be rude for me to say something. Let's put it that way. So here's Subby. Here's Subby. He was my Saturday buddy last week. Hey, Petey Poo. Petey Poo. Petey Poo. Oh my God. That means you must really like me. You probably even love me. Well, I love you too. You got a first name that I can remember, or just write it every once in a while so I can remember. So I went live last Saturday in the afternoon on the kitchen channel. I got lonely. I got bored. And I turned it on, and what did I have? I had 3 things on the agenda. So I needed to make my smoothie because I didn't eat breakfast yet. And it was like 2, 3 in the afternoon. And I had made a cheesecake. And I was going to make dinner for that night. Turn it on. I turned it on. Guess what? I had to update the program because I was so behind. So I had the option to restore the stream. And I never had a problem with the stream before. So, Kyle. I like that name. Who is it that is Kyle that I really like? Kyle, Kyle's Cabin. What a really nice young man. One of those guys, you just can't help but love him. So, I don't know. Did the streaming stop for you guys and came back on? If it stops, don't be quick to go away because it does give me the option to actually come back. So It might be me, but is the streaming glitching for anybody else? Actually, it glitched for me. Hello? It glitched for me, and it was... I'm not laughing at you, camera. I mean at Lewis. I'm laughing at Kyle. Okay. So, yeah, it said streaming stopped. Would you like to resume? What am I going to do? Say no? Of course I'm going to say yes. So something must have had an interruption. Lewis, are we having a storm down here or something tonight? I didn't even look outside to see. So here's what I was laughing. Kyle said, my dad picked it out. It was a name he always liked. Well, there's a guy on YouTube. I would say he's about 20, let's say between 22 and 25 years old. He's a mountain man. I can't say it any other way. I mean, this guy is like, ugh. Of course, Kyle, you can, this is open mic night. I mean, you can ask me anything you want. Anything, almost, okay? So, and his name is Kyle. He's got a girlfriend. They live on the land. He's built his own log cabin. And I just love that guy. So I do like your name. So, all right, Kyle, ask me your question, big boy. Okay. So tell me a little bit, since you showed up on my kitchen channel and you showed up here. Tell me what age bracket are you? Kyle would be a guy, so I don't have to ask that question. Anything that you could tell me what kind of work you do that you don't mind sharing online. Remember, we got a huge audience. We got all of 6 people watching. So it's going to really, really violate your privacy. So I'm back. I hope it's a solid stream. I hope I got 4K. Are you listening, Randy? Randy's in Arizona. So he's helping his mother. Today is, oh, wait, Friday. Randy might actually be on the road. So Randy, if you're driving, no. Just listen and smile. Just know I love you. So, and let's pray for Randy to make it safely back to Texas, where his little puppy dogs and his kitty cat haven't seen him in what? 2 weeks. He's been out there for 2 weeks. Okay, so here is the question that Kyle wanted to ask me. You don't mind if I call you Kyle, do you? Or do you prefer Stubby? Or how about Stubby? Are you a little Never mind. I have a Canon 80D and a Canon XA35. Do I get an R7 and do both a video and stills, or a Canon XA70? I would say that if you really wanted to be in the most aggressive that Canon is doing, I would go with the XA, what did you say it's called? The XA35 or the XA70. I would get the R7, and there'd be a number of reasons. You got the 80D, so you very much know what you're doing with that camera. It's not like a shock value that comes with it or a high learning curve. Where is it? I actually have the R7 right here. So it's a beautiful camera. It's got some secrets that I'm going to be making some videos on. It's small to the hand. It's got a very, very, excuse me. I forgot my train of thought. Oh, stabilization. Canon went from like, to all right on the image stabilization to really, really good, okay? And one of the secrets is if you actually add a stabilized lens, that it works in conjunction with the stabilization that it's got on its sensor, where the sensor moves. So I highly recommend this camera. That doesn't mean it's the only camera out there, okay? But Canon is the most popular. It's got like a very high percentage of the worldwide sales. In Japan, it's a little bit different. But worldwide, they got like 40 to 45%, so they still got the majority of the market. And I haven't found anything major wrong with the R7, so I can actually suggest it to a friend of mine, like Kyle, okay? I think Kyle has a little bit of a what do you call that type of personality where it can become a little bit sharp. I'm 31 and I do nothing. Call me whatever. I like it when I see you because you've proven to be friendly and you're not looking to kick me between the legs, which is fine because that happens. Okay, it really does. And I just ban those people or delete it. You know, there's people out there that they feel if they haven't caused trouble, they're not doing good. Now, how can you do nothing? Kyle, really? Seriously? You do nothing? Do you have a girlfriend? Well, then you're doing something. I meant besides that, okay? So Craig says, where do you suggest I look online for reliable information about sensor dynamic range? Okay, so I can tell you where I look, and if it helps you, great. If it doesn't, great. Not a problem. One of the secondary tiers would be DP Review. When they do the reviews and stuff, they will get into dynamic range and so on and so forth. But I like it handed to me on a platter, on a silver plate, as they say. So it's a site that a lot of people don't like. And the reason they don't like it, I'd have to say that the Z6 looks much better tonight. I redid the Z6 because it looked terrible from last week. It really did. It had a terrible look to it. And I just reset the camera and started all over. So I use DxO Mark. DxO MARK. And when you go there, go to the camera sensor area. And it'll give you 4 columns, all right? So the sports column is, if you click on it, actually, it'll sort them by that column. So let me go take a quick look. I think the sports, I can't. I don't have the keyboard here. So the sports column is the ISO. It will tell you what camera has got and registering the best ISO according to their measurement, and it's not subjective, it's objective. The problem with DxO Mark and why people will go, oh, I hate them, I hate them, I hate them, is because they put a lot of subjective stuff in there, and people that don't agree with them don't like them, okay? So, but there is some tests that are not subjective at all. They're totally objective, okay? So DxO Mark, go to the camera sensor section, and you will get 4 columns, okay? So the column that rates the cameras by their own numbers, that's the thing that pisses people off. They get mad because DxO Mark adds its own 2 cents, and I don't agree with them a lot of the times, okay? But the actual sports column and the, I think it's called portrait. There's one that deals with color and the other one that deals with dynamic range, but they named them so it's a trick. You don't really know. So sports is ISO, and that's the column that I look at. Okay, the dynamic range is so good these days, I don't even pay attention to it. But one of them have actual numbers that register. They don't tell you the actual dynamic range, but they give you the number in conjunction with other cameras. So that's where I would go, Craig. Plus, you could shoot me an email or call me or text me or tell me to call you, and we could talk about it. If I buy the R, we could talk about it to finish a sentence and come to a conclusion. So if I buy the R7, what wide angle lens should I buy for video? The one that I bought, of course. Why would you buy something? Okay, so this is the R7, and I have a 16 millimeter RF, meaning there's no adapter, okay? And it's a 2.8, yeah, this is 2.8, so it's low light. And it just does me a world of great pictures. Now, I also have, what do I have? I have the 10 to 18, but it's a crop sensor lens. So the camera is already crop sensor, but it's a 4.5 to 6 or something like that, 5.6. So it kind of cuts out the low light, but it has image stabilization where the 16 millimeter, which is almost like a pancake lens. Look how small that is. Like, it's really, really small, okay? So let's see, do I dare? There it is, okay? So, and it says 16 millimeter right there at the top. See the 16 that you can't see? Actually, since I reset this, it's even doing better with the focus. Who knew? Okay. So, it's a crapshoot if you want to get it with the kit lens, but for $200, this kit lens is incredibly fun. Look at how it pops a whatchamacallit, boom. It's definitely a male, okay? But it's 18 millimeters to 150, and it's a lot of fun, okay? I would actually buy it with the kit lens. So instead of $1,500, it's going to be $1,800. So you're going to pay like $200 or $300 for this lens. Now the problem with the lens, and it's image stabilization. Image stabilized also. So you'd think I was on drugs. No, I'm not, okay? I don't take drugs. So, but this thing, you'll zoom, you go right up the guy's nose. Oh, you didn't clean your nose out, did you? It's a lot of fun. But the R7 does really well in low light. So at a party or something, if you've got a child, I don't know, at 31 years old, if you've got any kids, what are you, getting fresh here or what? The cable is going up my leg, the cable from the mic. Okay, so I find it's my go everywhere lens. Plus, it's very light, not much to it. And I did mention it's got image stabilization. So for the daytime or even at a party or something, you're going to come back with amazing looking pictures. Okay, so that's why I would recommend that. But the 16 millimeter that's on here, yes sir, that's what I would go for. So, pop, 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 pop. So Craig says, thank you. What do you mean by the sports column rated by ISO? Yes, it's the ISO. So the way I work the RSO column, I say I need to look at it to give you a little bit better of a lesson. And I can't go there and go. Let's see how far I can get. Maybe I can actually see the names of the columns so I could tell you. Oh, that's what the problem is. I can't even go to... all right, if you give me a second, I'll go over and I'll type it in. So I'm going to type in DXOMARK. I'm going to go over there. I'm going to go to dxomark.com. Going to click in there. Okay. Oh, I have to put my other glasses on to read this. Okay, so when I go there, I'm at DxOMark. Why don't I just turn it on so you can watch? Hello, Peter. Where did your brain go? Okay, so here's my desktop. Okay, so now I'm going to go back over here. Okay, so this is dxomark.com. You can see it up in this corner, dxomark.com. So you could see it right there. That's where I am at. I hope to God the microphone's working. So you see where it says rankings right here? So you got rankings, reviews, articles, blah, 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 how we test. This is what causes the controversy. Okay, so go over here, go to camera sensors. When you go to camera sensors, okay, if you don't touch anything, it's already set to cameras. And if you just scroll down a little bit, okay, so I believe I can go back over to the Christmas desk because I don't think I need to type anything. Okay, so let's go back over to the Christmas desk. All right, I'm here. All right, so over here you could pick the cameras. Okay, so right now it's got any brand. See how it's black? If I click Canon, it's going to only show me Canon bodies. Okay, if I click any brand, which would mean all cameras that they've got in their database, it's going to go and it's going to list the cameras. Okay, so if I go and click on sports, it's now, see how it's got a little mark here? They're now sorted by sports. So you do have to pay attention, the sensor format. So this camera is a medium frame, it's a Pentax, and it can go to 4505, okay, and I'll tell you in a second how I read that. And then is the Hasselblad, which is 4469. So it's about a 40 number difference. It's not that big of a deal. It is a little bit, but I mean, within their 10 or 20, it's a no-brainer. Okay, so the camera that's a full-frame camera that's got the highest ISO ranking right now is the Canon R3, which is sitting very, very sweet. This camera is better than a lot of people think, all right? So the way I read these numbers, okay, this is my way, so don't go shooting me, okay? I'm going to tell you how I read them. I read them, let me make sure my microphone's on before I go in and launch. So yeah, the microphone is on. So I read these numbers, but I still have my professional hat on, even though I'm not actively, I'm retired. I don't do weddings and stuff like that, okay? But I take this number and I double it, okay? So let's go to a real camera. All right, so the A7 Mark III, that's a camera I used to own. That's what I traded the, I sold it and I bought the Nikon Z6, okay? So you take that number and you double, 3722. Following me, or am I losing you guys? So I take 3722. That'll bring me up in the area of around 7,000, so 6,400, okay, ISO. So that means, looking at this from a professional point of view, okay, I can go and get a professional picture out of this camera up to ISO 6400. And that doesn't mean I have to stop. That doesn't mean that there's a wall. That doesn't mean there's an ISO police. But I just comfortably know that on the A7 Mark III, that I can go to ISO 6400, and I can actually shoot professional portraits at that, okay? Now that doesn't mean I stop there. I will usually go to the next ISO up. So that would be 6400, that would be 12,800. And I can get acceptable pictures, in my mind, up to a 5x7, which means I can shoot at a reception where it's dark and have a picture in the album up to 5x7 in size, or that means to me that I'm not going to make this like a full page. But if I was going to put 2 pictures or 3 pictures on the page, I could do that, okay? So now going down the list, you can look and you can see the names of the cameras, okay? And you can see the A7R Mark III, and you can see the ISO. So now what was asked was about the dynamic range, all right? So portrait is the numbers for the colors, and dynamic range is the ranking, I should say, for what it's like in the shadows, okay? So I sorted it on dynamic range here. So the Nikon 850 is the first full-frame camera that's got the highest dynamic range, equal to a full-frame camera, okay? And then the Leica M11, 14.8, 14.8, 14.8, okay, the A7 Mark IV, okay? So now this would be the gamut for the colors, and that's the portrait. They're all very close, but this is how you can do the examination. Now, if you go over here and it comes in at overall score, this is where people throw a fit, all right? Because they don't agree. Well, you know, the Z7 is better than the, let's say, the Nikon Z9 or this camera, and so on and so forth. So people will go, oh, these people are a bunch of crap, okay? So this is how I use it. I ignore this, all right? The newer cameras, I could look at the color space and I could look at the dynamic range, but I'm mostly interested in here, okay? Because if I can get a clean picture, and I know that I can, in Lightroom or something, I could fix it. So you can see all the cameras that are here. The R3 from Canon, you got a couple of here. Now, okay, something just popped in my head. So if I go all the way back up here, and I only want to compare Canon cameras, and I don't want to see any of the other ones, I click the Canon button, and now the Canon R3 is at 4,000, and the Canon R6, see what happened here? And this is why I now own the Canon R6, $33.94, which means this Canon R6 is actually equaling for me, the A7 Mark III from 4 years ago, and that I could shoot that camera up to ISO 6400 in a professional setting, talking about the R6, okay? And at 12,600, most likely, I can do there for the smaller sizes. So the dynamic range is 14.3, which is still really close. All right, the 1DX Mark III, which by the way, the R6 is said to have the actual 1DX Mark III, but I can't prove this, sensor in the in this camera here. So it was like a win for me. So I don't think the R7 has been tested yet. Here's where the R comes in, okay? So you can come down, and let's go down quite a ways. Here's the 5D. So see here, Canon drops down to 1368 pretty quickly. So that's what we have, you know, that's what the drops are. Now, here's the only caveat that I wanted to say. You actually have to know your camera a little bit. Okay, we can come out of here. If you have a question, I'll leave this there. Okay, so I'll just make this smaller, and I'll come back to where you can see me. Okay, so if you have a question, I can come back to that. Okay, so here's the, what do you call it? Not the got you, like let's say a caveat or something to that effect. You've got to know your camera a little bit, which makes it difficult for you, okay? So what I mean by that is when this site first came out, you would read these numbers, but my own rules didn't apply. So the Sony, it would test well to a certain level, and then after that, it would just degrade tremendously and quickly. Where a Canon might test here, which would be under the Sony, but the degrading of the image of the ISO would be ever so slightly. Okay, so it would just slide down slow. And that's why I said you have to know your camera. Now, today, the same rule doesn't apply, okay? The Sony actually degrades at a very slow level, just like the Canon, the Nikon, the Fuji, basically all the big names, all right? So, but something might pop in, and it might be a camera I don't know or you don't know, okay? And that is why you need to kind of know what it is. So there you go, Craig. That's my explanation. All right, so Kyle says, you're my favorite camera guy, by the way. You're experienced, and don't try to be something you're not. I'm not. I'm not anything. Thanks for being you. That was a very nice compliment, Kyle. Okay, that actually is a super nice compliment. And here's Ray. Hi, Ray. Love you, buddy. I love everybody, of course. I won't be impressed with the camera's dynamic range unless it can pick up infrared and ultraviolet. Just kidding. Hi, Peter. You know something, Ray? What's really interesting on that is one of the few things... I thought my belt snapped. These are my skinny pants, and my skinny pants are falling down. I'm losing weight very nicely. I still look chubby when I'm naked in the morning when I weigh myself and I look in the mirror and there's a roll of fat here. I'm going like, what? I thought I lost like 45 pounds. Well, we got a few more to go. So I like infrared cameras. I like the pictures that they make. So Shane says, what did you think of the FX30? It looks like it might be the new go-to for a lot of folks. Will B&H let you test it out in the studio? So I think that the FX30 is probably one of the top 2, maybe 3, and maybe the top single bargain out there at the moment. It's got to be better than the A7 Mark III, and you saw the A7 Mark III on the DxO list came in. A7 Mark III is what, a 4-year-old camera or a 3-year-old camera, and it came in still at the top. So the FX30 is like gangbusters. Sony is just blowing everybody out of the water, but the other guys have sat up, should I say, have sitted up. They've gotten erect, okay, and they are paying attention to the marketplace. So I could have said for a long time, Canon wasn't paying attention to the market. They thought, well, we have the name, therefore we don't give a crap what you think, okay? So, and they operated like that, and I'm giving you my opinion so that you don't think I'm being nasty towards any particular company. I actually own a Canon. This is the Nikon, which was and it probably is one of my main cameras here, okay? But the FX30 has got, it has a fan in it also. It's got no recording limit. It's got 2 card slots, and they're both SD card slots. And they're both CFexpress card slots, which A or B, I don't remember which one. And I mean, the camera is just, the only thing it doesn't have is a full frame sensor, okay? So if that is not a big deal to a person, then bam, the FX30 is excellent. Now, I cannot say that the image stabilization from Sony is as good as the Canon. So that's where this camera, which is $1,600 or $1,899, same price as the FX30, and this has been actually an excellent buy too. So Canon actually stepped back into the game here, where Canon actually screwed up massively with the R6, okay? The R6 basically gives you the bird finger, okay, if you want to use this camera heavily for video. They're basically telling you, we're not going to even lift a finger to help you. That's how bad this is, and I'm not saying that we don't have workarounds. I'm just saying that, you know, this camera is an amazing camera. I love it. Would I trade it for anything else? No. But every time I look at it, I feel like Canon is shooting me the bird, okay? Telling me, yeah, we want you to know that we purposely are not going to help you pertaining to video one iota, okay? Now, having said that, there's another one of these, R6, that I actually own. This is a loaner. This is on loan from Joey, okay, which has got to get shipped back now. He came back from vacation. I think it's really cool that that one of my subscribers loaned me their camera. Not the lens, but the camera, okay? That is a lot of trust to put into somebody. So, Shane asked, yeah, B&H will let me get that. I want to get that camera, and I got a lot of curiosity for that Fuji, the one that everybody's raving about, the one that Charles Richard is raving about. Okay, so yeah, I will get that in the next rotation. Okay, I actually have to send the R6 back. Now, things pop in my head, and I know I jump around, but you guys are kind of used to me. One unique thing that the R5, R6, and R7 have is a place on the dial called FV, okay? And that's not a bad word, FV, okay? Frank V, okay? What it does is it turns the camera, and this one, the R7, has it also. It turns it, and I don't know if I'm going to click with a lot of you guys, but it turns it into a street camera. So what's a street camera? A camera that's kind of small, not overly big. This camera's a full size. So this would be like the, you know, 5D Mark IV. This is the R6. I know I say this and you guys are going like, say what it is so we can understand. Okay, the R6 is a full-size camera. It's like the 5D Mark IV. The R7 is a much smaller camera. Okay, and it also has the FV on here. Now, the R7 has no recording time limits, where the $2,500 camera does. All right, so that's why I said that Canon did a lot of bad things to the camera people with the R6. Still a great camera. So the FV setting allows me to actually put it in that setting, and when that happens, is there a battery in here? Yes, there is. But you won't be able to see it, but I can see it. Okay, so let's go over to FV. All right, so what the FV setting does, so if you have a Canon R5, R6, R7, and probably the R3, this is worth, what I'm going to tell you or teach you now is worth its weight in gold. It turns this camera into a street camera. Okay, so what a street camera is, you're shooting, and you need to make a quick adjustment. You don't have to go into any menus. All right, when you go to the FV mode, across the bottom here, it gives you all of everything that's pertaining to light under your fingertip. So if I want to change the shutter, I would tap on the shutter right there, and then I would turn the dial. I should plug it into the HDMI, and I could just set the shutter and then continue. And then if I'm walking anywhere and I want to change, I want to change the f-stop. So I will tap the f-stop, okay, and now I can actually change, I can actually change the f-stop. I could do that to the ISO. I could do that to the, what do you call it? We can make it brighter and darker. I can change that to the shutter speed, and I could change it to the f-stop. So what if you're going around, you go like, oh, I'm set up for a picture here, but I got to grab that shot real quick. How do I do that? You see the trash can down here? You double tap it, and it resets everything back to automatic, just with a double tap on the trash can. So when you get flustered or you're suddenly faced with a situation where the lighting is different, but you just got to get the dang shot, you just double tap. You got to be in the FV mode, okay? You double tap the trash can. It puts your shutter, it puts your aperture, it puts your compensation and your ISO all to automatic. So that's the difference between you getting the shot and you not getting the shot, which makes all the difference in the world, okay? So that was my little lesson for tonight. All right, so Mr. Camera Junkie says, who is Lewis, remember to hit the like, thumbs up button, everybody. Thank you, guys. Well, we got 12 of them. Thank you. That's very nice. So Lewis is here, and Louis Lazuka from Canada, and he's saying, hi, friends. How you doing? And he's asking me how I'm doing. I'm doing good. I'm thinner. I'm actually getting sexy looking. So, well, at least in my own. Let me dream, okay? What's wrong? Thank you so much, Peter. Can this data tell me what sensors do best in recording monochrome? No. Tonality for black and white photography? I don't think so. Okay. I'm thinking on the air live. No, I really don't think it will help. Okay. So you can go there and look up one of the Leicas. It's a monotone camera, and look at its numbers and see if it actually helps you or doesn't. I'm not going to do that right now. But that's what I would do if I wanted to find out something. So Shane is saying hi to Lewis, and Louis Azuka is responding back. Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, is saying hi to In the Blues, and Tom Buck is here. Hi, Tom. Hey, Peter, and everybody. Tom is working on some new microphones that are unbelievably interesting. It actually revived my looking around for microphones, and I've come back with the same thing. the TZ Stellar X2, and they actually have an X3 now. And that microphone floats to the top every time. But Tom is looking around at different mics. So what happens in the mics, okay, is you've got a couple of different sets of people. One set wants to hear what you sound like I was in the room right here with you. Okay, where did Tom go? I want to give Tom more exposure. Okay, Tom's channel is in red, Tom Buck on the comments. So you want it to sound like you are in the room with me, and I'm just talking to you, and the mic that I'm using, which is my lapel mic right here, actually is set up to make it sound like I'm in the room. Now you've got another kind of a group of people which want to sound, let me turn the effects off, okay? They want to sound like, hey, this is a radio station, and we need a little bit of bass in there. And for you people that want a special request, you just dial the number on the screen, 1-111-1112, and you actually get this podcast kind of sound. And the closer you get to the microphone, the more it sounds like you're actually on the radio. And you are now a radio broadcaster. And that would be versus, hi, I'm in the room with you. So it's two different kinds of a sound, okay? And when you're doing one type of work, you kind of maybe forget that there's people that are listening to it and they don't need the I'm on the radio voice. I have a voice so deep, it sounds like I have 10 pounds. Yeah, those things down there, they're more than 10 pounds. Okay, so it actually comes down to what you prefer in your sound. Do you want to sound like you're right there with me, which is what this mic does? It's a condenser. This little thing is a condenser mic, okay? And it sounds much more natural, open, spacious, okay? But the people that are into voiceovers and people that are into, I want to say podcasts, they want that deep 10-pound balls sound, okay? And it's just two different sounds, and you've got to pick what you like. What is your poison, as they say, okay? So, let's see. Charles says, sorry I'm late. You're never late. You're never late. Although it is 10:48, so this went by quick. At the end of this month, we've got Halloween, and after Halloween, we got elections. After elections, we've got Thanksgiving. I don't know if I'm going to go anywhere for Thanksgiving or not. Okay, I haven't decided. So, Craig says, I hear on October 26th, we will find out what Sony is up to with deep learning, AI, autofocusing, and that new A7R5. So you guys need to watch Simon at Ordinary Filmmaker, because he stays up. Well, I think he's got a thing that dings him awake. I'm not sure. Mr. Camera Junkie Lewis says, I think that the 10-bit 422 is going to make the FX amazing. The FX is so close to the FX3, the FX30 is so close to the FX3 that I don't see a lot of difference other than the size of the chip. Okay, so that is kind of what I'm thinking. So Lewis is saying hi to BZ. Who's BZ? Did I miss something here? I guess so. So nice, thanks Peter. You're welcome. Can I wake you up tonight? Lewis says, I don't know what camera I like, but I still enjoy life. There you go. The R7 is full-sized. Oh, okay. Why did you add the O? I actually said it was smaller. So you say it's full-sized, okay? Lewis, I don't know what I'm going to do with you. The R6 is full-size. The R6 is like the 5D Mark IV. It's a full-size big boy baby. Not huge, but it's a full size. The R7 is a whole step down, smaller in every way. It's teeny weeny, okay? I didn't do that so good. All right, so, oh, so you did get it. Oh, it's small. Yeah, the R7 and the R10's even smaller, but you lose out on image stabilization, but Randy likes it. So be watching over at Randy's house, and you'll see more on the R10. The one I'm ready for is the new Fuji X-T5. Will be announced November 2nd. That's not too far. $16.99, records internally in 12-bit, externally in 14-bit. And if they take the focus system and put that from, what's the newest one, Charles? It ends in 2 or S. So Fuji is coming to life. So I'm going to have to get a couple of those. And Charles, you're probably going to have to help me pick out the right lens because I want it to work good. You know, this camera will also start shipping in November. So people are trying, and it looks like they're trying to get in the game to make money for Christmas. Hello, camera companies. About time you started to be high and mighty with your nose 6 feet up in the air and actually come and start to do things to make people want to buy your stuff. That's why you buy a camera. You like it. You listen to your favorite YouTube content creators. You read and do some research. And then you got to roll the dice, and eventually you got to push the button. So my buddy Mark Sager from Sager's Carpet Cleaning, who I'm very good friends with, we chose the R6 for him. It's an odd choice, right? But it will work for him very, very well. It will. He's interested in image stabilization and low light because he cleans many times commercially where they've got these restaurants with the low lights. And you can't flood like this room where I got plenty of light. So, but he also wants to be able to hold the camera like this or like this and push that wand back and forth, or the steam wand, you know, and do that with the camera. And this one with the 16mm lens, which is the lens on this camera, they're a perfect match. So he ordered this camera with this lens, okay? It hasn't come in yet. And he ordered it through B&H. So it's good to hear that they're going to start shipping in November, which means people can buy them and have them for Christmas. Yes. Hi, Charles. What do you think of the Fuji XH2 40 megapixel sensor? Okay, so Gregg is asking Charles a question. Jeff, Magic Moment Photography. Hi, everybody. Sorry I was late. Hope all is well. All is well, ding, 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 and everything is going well. How you doing, Jeff? How's things in Brisbane, in Australia? I understand there's some shake-up stuff going on down there. I don't know. The news is getting confusing to me. So we'll see what happens. Canada's getting a little jumbled up too. Here's Carlos. Peter, you're looking great. Thank you, Carlos. I bet you say that to all the boys. Now, I've been losing weight. This almost looks like a dress on me now. Okay, and I got my skinny pants on, and they're drooping. And I put a belt. I thought the belt snapped because the pants are still sliding down. And I'm on the smallest hole, the farthest hole I can get on the belt. So it's a good feeling. I am not complaining. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Lord in heaven, that I'm able to lose weight. So what's different about the weight I'm losing this time compared to having lost the weight last time? First of all, I haven't been this low in over 30 years, okay? Maybe less, but let's just make it sound good, all right? That's number one. Number two, I actually have a reason to lose weight, which is better than willpower, because willpower, you'll always lose. You'll go, and then the willpower eventually wanes, peters out, dribbles away. Put the word that you want. It leaves you high and dry, okay? Now I have some intelligence. So what's wrong with sugar? What's wrong with the stuff from the plants? Because you could go vegan, you could go vegetarian, okay, to try to be healthy. But There's stuff wrong with the vegetarian and the vegan. It doesn't help you in insulin resistance. Insulin resistance is what helps get you sick. How do you spell sick? S-I-C-K. Okay. So it also messes up your liver in a massive way, and in turn messes up your kidneys. In turn messes up your bladder and your pancreas. And in turn eventually gets to your blood flow. So now when I don't eat sugar, like my brother bought a cheesecake home for my birthday. Thank you, brother. I don't eat cheesecake. Okay, although I did learn how to make a very, very satisfying substitute. I'm probably going to go live tomorrow on the kitchen channel at about 3 o'clock. And it's not to do anything for Peter's Kitchen channel. You can find that in the description or in the hashtags. It'll say Peter's Kitchen. It's just because it's nice to go live and not have any overhead, meaning I don't have people that's going to be judging me or people that's going to screw me over. And not very many people come in. I think I expected 2 or 3 people, and Kyle was one of them. He came and sat with me because I got really lonely last Saturday. Oh, poor Peter, you got lonely? Well, yes, I did. I felt very lonely. So I turned the cameras on and I did what I needed to do on Peter's Kitchen. So I made dinner for that night and I made my smoothie because I hadn't eaten. I woke up late, okay? And I taste tested my cheesecake, which was excellent, except it stunk, okay? Because the fake sugar, all these sugar substitutes, they're made out of sugar alcohol and it doesn't taste good. It tastes crappy. You got a stronger word you could plug in there? Do it, okay? But I did learn how to do it better. So there we go. So tomorrow, I'm not promising, but look up Peter's Kitchen and what do they call it? Subscribe. Peter's Kitchen. I got my face, okay? And I'm wearing an apron, a really cool looking apron, okay? So subscribe to that. And you'll know if I actually will go live tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And it won't be long. It could be as low as 20 minutes or an hour and a half. It's whatever way the spirit moves me, okay? Woo! So Lewis is saying, hi, friends. Norm is saying, Merry Christmas, Peter. Good evening, Gregg. He's around the world, and he's got a globe there. And how you doing, Norm? How you feeling, buddy? I haven't asked you in a while how you're feeling. Craig says, good idea, Peter. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Lewis says, my favorite camera is his Osmo Pocket and his iPhone. Smart man right there. There we go. Tom says, thanks for all the mic feedback, Peter. The good kind of feedback. The good kind of mic feedback. Well, I don't know when I'm kind of like crossing the line. So, what are you going to do? Okay, I took a chance. Which hand? Not that one. That one's off the screen. So, I took a chance giving you over and above. And I'm sure you thought, there goes Peter again. It just comes right out of his mouth. Okay, but I gave him a lot of interesting information. Shane is saying hello to Tom Buck. And that's pretty cool when Shane is saying hello to you. Charles says hi to Craig, and he's talking to him about the XT5. The XT5 has more capabilities than the XH2. Same sensor, 8K video, 40 megapixel sensor, 240 frames per second recording, probably in 1080, right, Charles? And more. It starts shipping in November. And Charles's last video is awesome. And not only Charles, but Raymond put up a video. Raymond said hello a while back. Let's go find Raymond. Let's see if I can find Raymond. Ray. Ooh, Ray. Where are you, Ray? Where are you, Ray? Ray, 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 Ray. Boy, it was really way back. Here, Raymond Stone. Okay, so he made a joke. Now he moved in. This is Ray. He's also one of the family. Okay, I love you, Ray. Okay, so he moved into a new apartment, which was awesome. He videoed it, which was double awesome, because besides having to move all that crap around, he was videoing all of that, or most of it, and he edited it, and he did a great job. So go to Raymond Stone. That's where where? Red, right there. Raymond Stone, right there, okay? And you could see sexy, handsome. There was no underwear shots, but there was a booty shot, if I remember, okay? And he actually put a video up and give him a little love. He's part of the group, and all of us like it when we love each other. When you go to Tom, make sure you put a thumbs up there. That is what, you know, we want to be doing for each other. Now, here's the big question. Where did I leave off? Oh, there it is. Louis Charles's latest video is awesome. And Charles is another guy you can go watch. Okay, in the red, that's his channel. Black Friday. Oh, it's coming out for Black Friday. Very nice. Louis says, happy birthday. Yeah, I got just a few more days and it's still my birthday month. Okay. So, how do you guys liking the R6 and the quality and the Nikon Z6, which we'll be going to eventually? It'll do it in its rotation because I reset the Z6 because it really looked like crap. Okay. So I didn't know where the problem was. So I actually just reset the camera, and when the Z6 comes out, it will, I reset it up. So it's been tuned in fresh. I did remember some of the stuff, okay? So here's the Z6 now, and how does this look? Especially if you want to compare it to last week. Now this is without any crap on my face, because I will put cornstarch on my face. You know, you cook with the cornstarch, thicken up stuff and everything. So I need it to look a little fatter, so I put cornstarch. No, I'm kidding. Hi, Mark. How you doing? Hey, Peter. Good to see you. Do you think AI will take jobs away from other artists? I don't think so. I don't think it's going to do anything like that. I love you, dude, just so you know. But it's going to be a very interesting walk in the park. You know, so it's going to be interesting stuff to watch. So he's in Chicago, so you guys know, and he's been here forever also. Long-time family member. Louis says, Peter, do you shoot in the RAW? No, I usually have underwear on and pants, at least. Yes, I shoot RAW for pictures, but not for video. I see no reason to go there for video at this particular time. Now, those that are either video snobs or they have professional end jobs, they might shoot RAW for movies, okay? But I only shoot RAW for pictures. Shane says, the price of the FX30 is what the FX3 should have been. It'll sell like crazy. Yeah, but when you have extremes like that, don't go from one extreme to the other. Think in terms of like, what could they have pulled back to pick up more customers? So I think the FX3 at $29.99 would have sucked in more customers, because you would go $2,400 for a Canon R6. You know, who else is in the 2400? A7 Mark IV, but you can get the FX3 for $2,900. So it's like a $400 difference, $500 difference. I think that would have been better, and that wouldn't have taken it all the way down to $1,800. These guys are there to make money. Remember that. So Craig is saying thanks to Charles. Lewis said, do I need... Lewis, you know, honestly, what you should do, you should become a person that does like what I do, okay? And then get all these cameras in on a rotating basis as demo loaners. Then you won't have to actually go like, do I want this or do I want that? And then you're crying and I have to come over and console you, pat you on the head, rub your back, okay? So that is, that's something you might want to consider. You might do good talking about cameras. I think Justin at Baby Back Maniac, Boy, he's into cameras big time, but his channel is on a barbecue. Peter, what color is your Tesla? It changes. Once I like this color, but they came out with a new color, but it won't be available in the United States. There's a new color they came out with called Black Cherry. Oh my God, does that camera look off the charts? Amazingly good. So that is excellent. Charles, all the weight Peter lost, I gained. You didn't gain 45 pounds, did you? You're going to have to come here instead of you giving me an examination. I'm going to have to give you an examination. What are you doing over there? Same thing happened to me. Lewis, you have a big booty now? What are you doing? What are you guys doing? I'm telling you to get healthier. You need to be around with me. Now, if I leave and go to heaven, send me flowers. What can I tell you? I like white and I like red. So, yes, Jeff says, you are looking very well. You sure have lost weight. Thank you. Yep, in Australia, very wet, lots of flooding here. We used to do this time of the year. And there's, so it is time of year heading into the storm season. Okay, so now this shirt, Jeff, look at that. And this is not my fat shirt. My fat shirts, when I was 203, they come out to here. So this is my shirt when I lost weight last time. Now, if I pull this in, don't tell me that don't look good. And now, it doesn't look good when I'm naked. Because when I'm naked, there's like a pot belly. And it still goes like over. There's a roll of flab. That needs to go. So my nutritionist, no, not my nutritionist, the guy that handles the exercising, he's got me doing some incredibly simple exercises. I thought they were sissy exercises. Honestly, I thought like, men don't do this, seriously. And then I've done it for 5 days now. I am freaking sore and I feel embarrassed to tell you that, okay? So he has me sitting in a chair, okay? Like a chair, like a regular chair, all right? So he has me sitting in a chair and I actually have to get up and then sit down. Up and then down. And I have to do that 20 times in a row. And I'm laughing, okay? Well, I did that this morning, and you know what? Your thighs, I always thought the muscles in your thighs were on the back, okay? Well, there's muscles that go right down from your hip down to your knee, and they're right on the top of on your lap, on your thigh. Man, did they scream today? What? How bad out of shape was I? 20 stand sits or sit stands, whatever you want to call them. Just 20? Okay. And he also has me walking 5 to 10 minutes on the treadmill, and they both have to be done in the same half hour. Okay. And I've been doing that. And the last thing, he calls it the vacuum. So when I'm actually walking on the treadmill, and I find that now that I'm not even on the treadmill, my body is doing this all by itself. You're supposed to like have pretend a string from your belly button to your spine, and you pull it. Okay? So you want to vacuum. You want to suck in really hard your stomach muscles, and you feel it from right below your boobs to right above your tube. Okay, that rhyme. Can almost make a rhyme out of that. So I would to walk 5 to 7. I'm about at 7.5, 8 minutes. And you're sucking in your gut while you're walking, not running, just walking, and not even that fast. He said, you don't have to walk. I'm sorry. You don't even have to walk that fast. Okay. So I do that, and I do 20 sit stands. And like I said, this morning, the little sissy thoughts of sitting and standing, oh yeah, I'm exercising. Well, I do have a problem, okay? And I told him I can't do a lot of the exercises because I'm fighting a hernia, and I'm not looking to wind up in the emergency room, okay? So that's the two things he came up with. And man, oh man, do I feel sore as a, what can I rhyme sore with? Yeah, that starts with a WH, but that's not, I'm not going to say that, okay? So while Charles and Lewis are gaining weight, I'm sexercising, and I'm sitting and standing and standing and sitting and sitting and standing 20 times in a row. Not even a second repetition, just one. Thank you, Jesus, that he didn't have me do a second repetition. This morning, the top of my legs, my lap, the muscles all the way down to my knees. Oh, golly, Miss Molly, okay? And then when you suck your tummy in for 5 minutes while you're walking on the treadmill, I'm just walking. Actually, I'm holding on because I have a tendency to lose my balance. Okay, remember, I'm 69 years old now. This was my birthday month. So, but it's put a little bit, you know what I could tell you the results are? It's put a little bit of a kick in my step. So when I go to do something, I'm walking with a little bit more enthusiasm, okay? And I could feel that the circulation has actually helped. Now, I don't know if that's helping any of you guys, but it is what it is, okay? Gregg says, Amazon has a variety of Christmas room suspenders to hold your skinny pants up. And Lewis is giving me the sign. Thank you, Lewis. Have a wonderful weekend, you guys. Bye-bye. I love you. I love you too. Charles said, I just came from view a house that was flooded by the hurricane and is being sold for under $200K, worth more than $300K. So that is what you call a bargain. A bargain. Now is the perfect time to invest in properties. I would have to say probably if you had the cash. Peter, if I had a choice between Sony and Canon, would you pick the XT5, which is not a Sony or a Canon? Charles is tempting me. Lewis, you don't have that weak of a spine. Peter told you what camera to get. Now, just because you got a bigger booty doesn't mean that I won't spank you, okay? I told you what camera to get, Lewis. I want you to grow a spine and stick with it until I change. And I'm not changing. You are buying the R7. You're not buying anything else. This is not everybody in the room now. This is Lewis, okay? And I am telling you to no changes. That's the camera you are going to buy, big boy. Okay? So, oh, Funnel Fest is here. Hi, Peter. I lost 50 pounds last year, mainly eating meat. That's the carnivore diet. You are doing great. I wish you all the best going forward. Good vibes. Say a prayer for me. Don't be afraid to say a prayer for me. I say prayer for you guys every single day. So on this side, you've got carnivore, meat, red meat. That is a type of eating style. Then you've got keto, where you take the red meat and you can go up to 20 carbs a day. Then you have the middle, which is SAD, S-A-D, Standard American Diet, S-A-D, Standard American Diet. Then you have over to this side, you've got vegetarian. Now you take vegetarian to its max and you've got vegan. So these are the major diets. And then along with the SAD, you've got the seafood diet, which is if I see food, I eat it, which it sounds like a few guys are on, okay? So Funnel Fest actually went on the carnivore diet. That is supposedly, and I agree, okay, but each person has their own point of view, the healthiest diet to go on. It relieves your liver, it relieves your kidneys, it relieves your gallbladder, it relieves your pancreas, it starts to clean out your arteries. But what about cholesterol, Peter? Yeah, what about cholesterol? That's a whole show, but this show is over, so we're not going to go there. But Funnel Fest didn't go on a carnivore diet cold turkey. Well, he might have started a cold turkey, but I'm sure there was research that went with it. So you go, big boy, Funnel Fest. I am so happy that you lost 50 pounds. And if you didn't gain it all back, which you shouldn't, stay away from the sugars. The sugars kick in different parts of your body that are not healthy, which is why I started. I didn't start to lose weight. I started to get healthy. I was 68 and now I'm 69. I started this year, 10 months ago, okay? Actually 9 months ago. Because I could tell my health was declining. So I needed to clean the liver. I needed to clean the arteries. I have no idea. My cholesterol was sky high, but that's before I knew and understood how to read the cholesterols. It's probably still sky high, but now hopefully it's in a better balance. So I'm proud of you, Funnel. Excellent. So Jeff says, love the R6. It's a very nice body to use. Mind you, I still enjoy the 5D Mark IV. Both are very good and different. Yeah, I wanted to love that, that 5D Mark IV. And Lewis said that I excite him. Lewis, be careful. Jeff, I have a question on the R6. Good microphone to use on the camera. I am going to try and get into video. Okay, well, I have to take a page out of Shane from Australia and Tom Buck. Both of them would recommend the Rode, something, I think it's called the Go 2, or the Saramonic, the one with the 2 mics. I would personally buy the Saramonic. That would be my choice to go with that camera. Okay, but you can go to Tom Buck or Geeky Nerdy Techie, and they've got tests on every kind of microphone you can think. Here's Margaret Gomez. Hi, Peter. I love your show. Slimbo. There we go. Thank you, Marga. That's a great compliment, especially now that I need it. Peter, you're inspiring me to be happy. Thank you. That's because I love you. I do. And Lewis, Mr. Camera Junkie, is laughing at me. He is. Tomorrow, make sure you watch him. 11 o'clock tomorrow night. Mr. Camera Junkie in red, right there. Boom. Okay. Marga says that sit-down exercise is also strengthening our knees. It's strengthening my knees. It's strengthening my, that thing back there, the butt. And he says everything between my knees and my boobies, my breasts, my chest up here, it activates all of it, but is not triggering any hernia pain, which to me is a key thing. Peter Lewis says, I have to text you something personal because it's important. Well, you know without question that, of course, you could text me. It's a given. Okay, so there we go. All right, so I have banned them, guys. Don't get upset. I see them. I like, well, I probably took it off now. You can't see it. So I did have a question. How did they get past all my other bans? So anyway, I filmed a new commercial video today. Zumba for seniors. Whoa. I got a feeling that was a joke. Score is a bore. That's it. Thank you, Kyle. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday. My birthday month is almost over, Marga. It's like in just what? What are we on, the 21st? Yep, almost over. Lewis says, please don't spank me. I'm learning. I'll spank you. I will. I don't want every time. You know what I don't like? I don't care that you get excited about cameras, Lewis. That's fun. Okay? But the way you're wording it, it sounds like you're willing to change on a dime. I want you to have a spine. Okay? Oh, that sounds so interesting to me. Oh my God, that camera really has my interest. Okay, that's good. Okay? But when you're willing to change out of the R7, no, I don't like that for you. Because I am protective of you like a big brother. I don't want you, when somebody go, you blow over. I want you to stand like a man. Lewis, stand like a man. There you go. Okay. Okay, so Lewis says, I trust you, Peter. I know you do. I know you do, baby, and you love me. And thank you. Kyle says, I'm also getting the R7, by the way. If you happen to order it from B&H, use my link, because that will let them know that they're sending me cameras to borrow, loan, and I'm sending them people back. It gives me a few bucks, like $10 or $12, so it's not a big deal, okay? But use the link. Anybody that's in here, use the link if you go to B&H, which is on the bottom. Okay, so Hero shots. The DJI wireless mic is great too. Yes, you're right. The DJI everything. The Osmo Action, and the things that fly in the air. DJI is a excellent company. Peter, what is Lewis's trifecta? Is it 16 millimeters, 18 to 50, 150, and 35, or 50? Yeah, that's exactly what I bought. I bought the 16 millimeter that's on this R7, which belongs to Joey, but the lens is mine, okay? This is the lens that came with it, okay, on the kit, all right? So this is going back to B&H, all right? And what else? The 35 millimeter 1.8. Those three are the ones that I purchased. Okay, so now I can't watch. I'm banned. You are not banned. It doesn't even say banned right there. Okay, so now it's more like you're spanked. It's not the same thing as a ban. You can get a spanking and you can still watch. So here's Jeff. Now on his channel, Geeky Nerdy Techie, he has tested. So he's saying the Saramonic Blink 500. That's the one. Thank you. Sounds amazing. Okay. So that's probably the one that I would make a purchase of. Is the Saramonic Blink 500. But the one that comes with the two mics. Because I've had 3 times where people came here. And I don't have a second mic for them. Okay. So what I need is to be able to clip this one on me. Whoops. There it is. That one. And then be able to clip another one on the other guy, okay? And then you can hear us. And that's why that is, Shane says it's the Blink 500 Pro. That's the one. Okay, so body only. Okay, so when you text me, I'll converse with you, Lewis. Okay. Margaret says, disagree, DJI mic. I regret getting it. Audio is muddy. Rode sounds better. So now you've got a different point of view and a very important point of view. So there we go. Anyone to B&H, because I think it's like 24 hours, but I'm not sure. Okay. So the link is active for 24 hours, let's just say. It might be 20 hours. So if you click on something and it's not what you want, go to what you want. Just do it within 20 hours so that I can get credit for it. Oh, I'll get credit also if you just click on it. They'll see that people came from the show over to there. So Margot says, Marga, your body mic is fantastic. Well, thank you. It's because I'm thinner. There's less reverberation in the room. This is a higher end mic. Okay, this one is like $700, but I've had it for like 12, 15 years. So when I go to buy another one, I'm not going to spend $700 again. I'm actually going to, I'm going to get the Saramonic in here from as a loaner from the company that loans stuff for me, which is B&H, and I'm going to try that out. Okay, so let's go to the R6, and this is what the R6 looks like, and you can compare it with the Z6. And this is the camera that I actually reset because last week it sucked. So now you could tell me that it looks wonderful or it doesn't look wonderful, and you could tell me that this looks wonderful and this doesn't look wonderful. If you watched, and this is somebody that watched the rerun, leave a comment in the comments section. The chat won't be open to you anymore, okay? But you can leave a comment in the comment section. I like comments. So just say hi, tell me what you think, tell me I got thinner, tell me I'm good looking, don't say I'm ugly, okay? That will hurt my feelings. You don't want to do that. But for the people that will watch this when it's not live, And some people can't watch it this hour, but they can listen to it. And I don't do a lot of walking around. Hello. I could walk from here to here, and that's not a whole lot of action, okay? Well, for the Focus system it is, because it needs to deal with a Christmas tree, it needs to deal with bubbles and these bubble lights, and so on and so forth, okay? So if you have watched this, please leave a comment in, not the chat, because our show is done. Leave a comment in the comment section underneath where the description is. That will make me very happy. Okay, so that's it. That is what we've got. So Peter is going to say goodbye. God willing, and the bridge isn't up. Until next week, bye. Love you. Bye.